Hello, chess enthusiast here, and with my new channel, I have brought you a game I played in my old days. Now, this game is with an opening very unfamiliar to many people. The name is Greco's Gambit. The opening starts with e4, e5, bishop c4, knight to f6, attacking the pawn, and instead of protecting it, you go for f4. Now, very unusual opening and very aggressive. Now, if you heard of Greco, Giancino Greco, so you must be aware of the Giancino piano game. Well, in that also there is a line called as Greco's Gambit, but this is the Greco's Gambit from White. So this game is a bit unique because this gambit is usually not played. So my opponent responded with e takes on f4, and here I went for e5. Knight to e4 and knight to f3. The whole point is to not allow queen to h4 check. Also, to castle easily and develop all the pieces as fast as possible. Bishop to e7, knight to c3, now asking where you want to exchange or not. And a correct move by opponent d5. But this allows me to get into more aggression as much as possible. I have two options. I can either capture the knight, or what I did in the game was bishop captures on d5. So my opponent instantly responded with knight to c5. Now you must be thinking the tactical error must have occurred because over here, you could just capture away the knight. Knight takes on c3, and you may think that after I capture the knight, I'm losing my bishop. The problem here is the f7 square is attacked, so I can simply capture, and once I bring his king out, only now I can capture with the pawn. And now you may have understood that due to the development of the knight, the possibility of kingside castling, I can easily win this game. However, in my real game, knight to c5 was played. So I pushed d4 and knight to e6 was taken. So you can see the black has gone into a defensive position and has allowed me a lot of space in the center, which was the perspective of the opening. I castled, opponent castled, bishop to e4 and knight to a6. A strange move, but that's the only place the knight can be properly developed without, causing hindrance in the development of the queen and the other bishops. So d5 I played, now kicking the knight anywhere else. He asked for an exchange, so I went for it. Knight g5. I played knight captures on g5, and after he captured with the bishop, I played bishop captures on f4. Now you may see that this is a very strong structure I've developed, and here my opponent should have captured that bishop and gone for an exchange, but instead he went for knight to c5. Now bishop captures on on h7 check. Forgive me. Simply after king captures, I went for queen h5 check. Now this is very standard because you may know this position. Now most players will think bishop h6, and once I recapture with the pawn, there's nothing to do here. But there is. The move is rook captures on f7 check. Rook takes on f7 was played. Queen takes on f7 check, and once the king moves, I march forward my pawn. c6 was played, and I went for e7, attacking the queen, and the queen has not very much anywhere to go. So simply queen to g8 and queen f6 check. Now if you block with the queen, I get another queen into the game, and there will be game over for anybody who's playing against me. However, he went for king h1, which is the right move right now, and I played d6, now protecting the pawn. He played bishop to h3. Now he's threatening mate in 1, but simply I blocked with g3 move. Rook to e8 and simply rook to e1. Now further strengthening my pawn structures. These pawns were killer pawns. Bishop to d7, rook to e5, now attacking the knight. And anyway, once the knight is captured, the game is going to be mine. So knight to e6, trying to protect, and I played knight to e4. Queen to g7 was tried, just for an exchange. Maybe you can beat on pieces. But I went for queen f5 check. Once the king moved behind, I went for knight to f6. Now this is a big fork, really big. And after queen to f7, I played knight captures on e8. And after queen captures on e8, you may have noticed easily that here black has a bishop and a knight against my rook. But if you count the number of pawns, I'm up a pawn in considering the pieces. Now queen f6 check I played. Once he moved the king, only now I captured on e6. Bishop captures, and after queen captures, my opponent played a few more moves. Queen h5, d7, queen d1 check, king g2, queen takes on c2 check, king h3, and after understanding that there are no more checks possible, no way to draw the position, my opponent finally resigned. So this was a tribute to Greco, the man who played piano game, and also the Greco Gambit, which is seen in many places. But this opening is very unheard of. So next time your opponent tries this, instead of going d4 for the unbeatable unsolved gambit, you can simply play f4 and try to go for a better line.